All right, good evening, everyone. We have so much to celebrate here tonight. Thanks to all of you. Medford now has the best library in America. My name's Rocco DiRico, and I'm the Executive Director of Government and Community Relations at Tufts University. But more importantly, I went to school right over there at St. Joe's. So like many Medford kids whose parents were, hardworking Italian immigrants, they spent every afternoon here. So this is where I spent all my afternoons in a much uglier, scarier library that we're in tonight. And I think you all know what that library used to look like. Thank you so much to S Factor from being here from Tufts University, an amazing a cappella group. You guys are going to love them. So Joey asked me to give a little brief history of the Library Foundation. So if you guys don't mind going into the Wayback Machine with me, back to 2017, when thanks to incredibly hard work by Barbara Kerr, she secured a grant from the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners for $10.7 million. But there was a catch. You had to build a $28 million library. Next stop, we went to Rick Carviello, because if you want to build anything in the city, you need money from the city council. And thankfully, under Rick's incredible leadership, the city put up a bunch of money for the library as well. But we still weren't there, right? There was a $4 million gap so we could get the library that Medford deserved. So I got a call from Ellen Tonello. And as you all know, when Ellen Tonello speaks, people listen. It's like the E.F. Hutton commercial. And she said, will you come to a lunch with me and Barry Sloan? And I said, sure, yeah, I'm not going to pass up a free lunch. I will be there. So we got there, and we all sat around. I think Rick was there. I think Ellen was there. Barry was there. A few other people. Dominic was definitely there. And Rick was there. So Ellen says, Barry, I need you to raise $4 million for the Medford Public Library. And then Barry looks at me and says, Rocco, are you involved in this? Are you donating money? I have absolutely no idea why I'm at this lunch, by the way. And I just looked at Barry and said, yeah, of course, I'm going to donate money, and Tufts is going to donate $100,000, having no idea that we would do that. So we've got Barry, we've got Tufts, we've got a few other business leaders, we have incredibly committed people. So the next step was we hired all these consultants, right? And they all came in, and one after another, they all told us the same thing. You are never, ever going to raise $4 million. They said, you're going to be lucky if you raise maybe $1 million. Said, we've never had a private fundraising campaign in Medford go to a public building. It just never happened. Good luck to you guys. If you raise $1 million, you should be really, really happy. And they left. But that did not stop Barry at all. That only motivated him more. And he did a nationwide search and found Holly Sargent from Maine, who used to live in Medford, and dragged her back down here to raise this money. And then we got some really great news. Thanks to incredibly hard work from Holly and Ellen and Barry, we got the Bloomberg Foundation to donate $3 million. But there was a catch. I think you're noticing a theme tonight. There's always a catch when we get this money donated. We had to raise $3 million of our own, and he would match that $3 million, which was incredibly generous. So thank you to everyone here in this room who played a big part in raising that record-setting amount. Bad libraries build collections. Good libraries build services. Great libraries build communities. So thank you for building a great library that serves our entire community. And now it's my great honor to introduce Barbara Kerr. Barbara has served the library since 1984. Is that right, Barbara? She remembers every single day. So she knows every single inch of this library and had a key hand in designing literally every nook and cranny in here. She also has an incredible stuffed animal collection. I think it's record-setting here in Medford. So I was going to say, so we'll have to check out her office after. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the library's director, Barbara Kerr.
So those of you who have heard me talk over the years, I think when we were raising the money, what I kept saying was that I had a very good staff who did wonderful work under the circumstances, because the other building was not ideal. It's not good to have a building where it rains inside when it rains outside. So, and I wanted to see what they could do when the facility was as talented, was as good as they were. The results have been extraordinary. We really, our first year was a little slow because we didn't get our shelves for like 9 months, which was, some of you probably remember that. We had wooden rolling bookcases that were splintery, so that was tough. And we also were a bit short on staff that first year. So I had visions that we would come in here and we would immediately have a 3-year calendar program set up, and that did not happen. But things got better and we got more staff. So currently we have 37 staff members, which is the most staff we've had here since I've worked here, which is 40 years in December. So it's amazing how much you can do when you have enough people. And really, they're a talented group and they're very young. I'm the oldest now, which I find a little terrifying, but we just hired somebody who's 22, right? So they're young and they're energetic, and they're largely people who went into this profession because they wanted to. And when I was going in, there was a lot of women went into it because it was an acceptable profession for a woman in the 50s, 60s. They weren't, I worked here with a lot of people over the years who were not that enthusiastic about being in this profession, but now everybody here, they're here because they want to be here, and they are very talented, and the numbers show it. So this year we had 1,400 programs. So I just did the statistics for FY24. And last year we had 860. We had 32,000 people come to the programs. Last year we had 16, and this year we had 16 just to come to children's programs alone. So grab one of these on your way out. It's packed with programs, and a lot of that is Sam's doing. Wave, Sam. Sam is the assistant director, and she's been the force behind a lot of our development, especially like the makerspace. And the makerspace, we got a Cummings grant this year, and we're going to be hiring some people to run the makerspace, and so Sam doesn't have to do it all by herself. So that's very good. That's good. And so attendance-wise, this last year we had 176,000 people come in the course of the year. It averages 15,000 people a month. And the day of the fairy tale ball, we had 1,000 people, most of them under the age of 7. So I stayed home. So now, and then our circulation has gone up hugely. Like this year, our total circulation was 526,000. It went up 50,000 from last year and 160,000 from the year before. So we're catching on. Once we got up and running and started offering the things we wanted to offer, people look to see what we're doing and they come. And it's been very gratifying because this was a lot of work. I think everybody who was involved with it knows that it was a lot of work and it was not a sure thing the whole time, but we were very lucky. And the nice thing is that the things that I wanted us to do all along, there were things that we couldn't do in the old building because we only had one room. We now have multiple ESOL classes and a citizenship class going, and we're going to keep going with that. We just added a senior advisory board as a group of somewhat badly behaved seniors who have opinions about what kind of programming we should offer. So there's a page of 55 plus programming in here, which is great because that's something. I know we have a homebound delivery program that Sam has really expanded, which is great. And the makerspace, every time we advertise a class, it fills up same day. And we've been able to have a lot of different things because the foundation very kindly contributes to our programming budget every year. So Monday night we have an author called Cameron Mercado who was a finalist for the National Book Award a few years ago. And musical programs and like one of the things I wanted us to open up with were computer classes in the tech lab, but we didn't. But we started in September. We found this very nice man who lives around the corner who's teaching classes every Wednesday. So, and what Rocco said about community is important because we also now have lots of spaces for other groups to use, where before we had one room that everybody shared, and that was kind of, it was generally covered with glitter, and that didn't always work for different things. So now I think we have 14 public use rooms that are in constant use and study rooms downstairs that people use all day long. So we got all the things we wanted, and you guys helped with that. So thank you very much. I think we're a success. So I hope we're going to stay a success. So thank you. So I'm going to introduce David Chia, who is the chair of the trustees. Ellen, where are you? Ellen did not take you to the trash room. I'll show you afterwards if you want. David is the chair of the trustees now and was also a major donor, so come get the microphone. Thank you.
The good news is that I'm going to let you get to eat very soon. I'm going to cut my remarks short just because everything I was going to say, people have already said it already, so I don't need these notes. I do want to emphasize the issue of community. I'm probably here a couple of times a week, and I'm sure the staff is thinking, doesn't he have anywhere better to go? And the answer is no. This is a great place to be. This is my office away from office. It is a place where I can get a cup of coffee, where I can procrastinate when I don't want to work. But it is a place of community, and that's really the most important part of this place. We have great programs, as Barbara and Sam have talked about. We have great facilities. As the head of the trustees, it's my job to see what's going on, offer suggestions, and perhaps give them ideas, but they've got plenty of ideas already. I'm flattered that when someone comes in here, they say, wow, what a place this is. And that's really very flattering. We take a lot of pride in this place, and we're not going to ask you for money tonight. Maybe soon, but not tonight. So I just want to thank all of you for having faith and having belief that this was a place that was worth investing in, because I believe it is, and I believe that it will be. And thank you. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being with us from the very beginning. And one more person to talk, and let me hand it off to Dan Lasko, who's been a contributor. He's also happens to be the treasurer for the Friends of the Library.
Thanks, David. All right, hi. Let's see. Really, again, the stuff you've already heard, but I wanted to emphasize how much this has helped the Friends. So if you all don't know, the Friends provide most of the funding for the programming that's here. So very often this is a different sign that says sponsored by the Friends of the Medford Public Library. But what actually is going on is that there's a lot of co-sponsoring going on with the foundation. So this huge increase in programming that you've heard about from Barbara is enabled by donations from the foundation to the Friends, and then the Friends can support additional programming. So it's been, I think my napkin says, I don't know if you got the same napkin I got, a 42% increase, and that's about what I see in our checkbook. So our programming budget has increased that much because of the foundation. And it's enabled us to do some other things with our funds, which we continually raise through the book sale. If you didn't make it this time, come next time, you know. But the book sale is our main source of funding. Besides, actually, the foundation does a little better than that, than the book sale now, but that's our next biggest one. So, you know, thanks again to everybody for that, because all the programming you see here, essentially all the programming is sponsored through the Friends and the foundation. The ESL programming, some of that as well, the computer programming, all this stuff. You know, I write a lot of checks, and the librarians do a great job finding people to come in and do the work. And I get the checks from the foundation, so I see it. I see the numbers. It's been tremendous, and the change from just a couple years ago is huge. Our budget's really different, and the things that they can do is really different, and you know, all because of this organization. So thanks for all that on behalf of the Friends. And then the best part about going last is I get to introduce the really last speaker, and that's Terry Carter, who I think everybody knows. Terry's the inaugural poet laureate of Medford. He's got several books of poetry out already, 5, I think. I don't want to misquote. He wrote a poem for the inauguration of the library, and he's written another poem he's going to share with us tonight for this event.
It's always tough to follow Terry Carter with his inspirational speech. Somebody we forgot to give accolades to about this library is Mayor Stephanie Burke. Because when I went to her with this crazy idea of $30 million, she could have told me to go pound sand, Rick, we can't do it. But she had the vision to say, let's look at it and let's get it done. So I think we owe her a great deal of appreciation for this building being built today. And last but not least, Barry Sloan has been our leader here with the foundation. And as I don't know if many people know, Barry has stepped down. He's been here since day one. And when Ellen says she went to Barry, that was a great choice. But a lot of the donations we got, because that long arm of Barry Sloan. Barry can make those calls that no one else can make. And we want to thank him for all his work and dedication. And I would hope that he would stay on as Chairman Emeritus at the next meeting. So thank you to Barry for all his work and his dedication to the city of Medford.